Clean, sir. But he just finished. Suddenly, the dog stood up again. Give the enemy a chance to react. The wand in the hand swung directly into the neck of the P2. The child is playing with the cat in the house. When I saw that, I was terrified. Grandfather Han was drinking nearby and immediately stood up. The old man stole the chicken and couldn't burn it. They lost their rice. Everybody come together and take him down. When he finished, he led the way. Hold out your hand and grab the table next to you. Then use force to avoid the enemy. I saw the table coming towards me. The speed is a little bit stopped. Then quickly swinging an axe and cutting the table in two. But when he's done with that table, I didn't see the opponent. Great Han is confused, constantly glancing left and right. Exposed, he's hiding behind another table. In the air, when the enemy is not paying attention, he threw 2 races towards the enemy. Even though my body is big, but the reaction is not slow. The stick just came in front of me. Then he turned his head. One side is avoided. Then he threw an axe at the highway. It's disrespectful not to answer. On the right arm. Immediately deploy the air release. And then quickly reached out and caught the axe again. See the enemy's movements. The great Han Kier laughed again. Extremely sinister. When he caught the axe, he was terrified. Why is it still so powerful? The axe quickly escaped his control. Then fly back to the Han Kier. The right arm is now injured. There is no stopping fresh blood. He stared at the other person and said, Zhao Zhang, illogical precious Sao. This person is an absurd little Zhang. 2 VI grade C superior. He looked at Zhang Ruo, spitting out a sip of saliva. No, wrong is the boss. Look at him continue talking. People like you can stay together. But he hasn't finished yet. Behind his back, suddenly, a black shadow appeared. The sensor can be immediately turned to look back. When he turned around, the man opened his mouth. The fire covered his body. This is his firefighting trick. In the air, the butterfly's human face just flew in. Middle Devil 2 hands clasped to observe the situation below. Sai Ai Ra is still a step slow. 10 good people with a little appreciation. They fought so hard. The devil turned around and asked him, who do you think will win? 10 good. If you hear that, immediately fire the Venus Eye. Look, after a moment you scream. The escaped martial artist is under fire. The devil asked the reason. 10 good quick answer. Master used to teach me. Can't take the level of serious damage raw SAO. And how much gas is left to judge. Whether or not the person in front of me lose the ability to fight or not. Like now based on this Venus flame. What I see is fire. His life is extremely abundant and powerful. Completely unsuitable for commercial conditions. Outside, this martial artist is absolutely not pathetic. As on the outside, he manifests raw. He's trying to be weak. He looked at the man who was burning black in front of him, disdained to say, this guy is a little bit unworthy of the name. Although the body is not bad. But I don't think he needs that many guards. The king is too careful. It's burning on the ground right now. Don't stop screaming. Give me a euthanasia. Give me a euthanasia. The old man had just sprayed a fire to the ground. Tell him. I just can't bring out all my power. Han used poison. Ra actually did the job. When this man pierced Han's wand, Han's blood shot him in the face. That's why he was poisoned. It's impossible not to divide energy and energy. To suppress the poison drama. If not, the old man could not easily burn him to death. Don't forget before. He used to be a guest in the king's palace. The unlucky man he killed. VI is even higher than him. This guy is a fireman. You're a man of the arts in Zhangzhou. The fire he's holding is a strange fire. It's called the fire ankle. When he heard the head of the analytical department, he nodded. You're right. How is the bonus divided now? The old man immediately replied, even though Han is dead, I respect him. Did the job. Give 2 portions of the prize money to his children. We can split the rest. 2 people agree to split the bonus. Without even knowing that the highway was lying on the ground, there is a silent movement right now. He crawled over and over again. He also grabbed the stones. While you 2 lose focus, he suddenly stood up and spun in place. The 2 stones in the hand were also shot. The 2 kneeling men were immediately thrown through their heads by these 2 stones. Finished handling to Kier. The new highway shouted out to destroy the fire god. The general has just appeared. He immediately assigned it to him. Put out the fire. The fire god immediately held his head. The fire was burning on him. Immediately sucked into the mo fan in your hand. Very fast. All the fire on the road has been destroyed. He then looked at the other 2. Thinking is still good. The 2 most difficult players have solved, without spending too much energy. The rest of you think about it. His eyes suddenly grew larger. Then he opened his mouth and spat out a lot of poison. The blue side is not far away. The boy sat next to his grandfather's body, his piercing eyes staring wide open. The mouth doesn't stop chanting, kill my own flesh and blood for your life. Curse you, gut pierced. The heart was eaten by hundreds of thousands of snakes. What this kid's doing is permanent honeymooners. He looked at her and said, Ra, I almost forgot about them. Turns out that old man and his descendants are all from honeysuckle. Then the other 2. All at the same time, fast forward. Bastard, pay for my grandfather's life. The weapon is a rope. On top of the line is a lance. He uses the power of a few turns. Then throw the rope straight at the top of the highway. To the side of the room. Avoid. The rope flies out the back, breaking an opposite rock. This makes it extremely scary for Zhang to reveal himself. This power if hit by it. I'm just going to see my grandparents. See the enemy divided. The kid took the chance. The whole body quickly goes into a state of animality. And then use extreme speed to get close to the enemy. When you see it, you sweat. This kid's speed is too fast. It's not okay. I can't avoid it at all. We can only try to fight serious injuries. Rapidly splinting to one side. The enemy's claws. So it just sort of collapsed around his neck. Even though fresh blood never ceases to flow out, but it's not life-threatening. The fire he wiped the first death, and the copper monster mask. This family, it's definitely someone in the gymnasium. Secret universe. Combine the 2 most capable. Close up of the subject. We can't save gas anymore. Or we might actually die here. Very fast, the air on him exploded violently. The tiger boy saw that, and his serious face was wrong. This person is not the same as before. Then he turned his head to the south. The middle-aged man screamed, No, be careful, seasons. Yurei starting to take it seriously. 8 ways to destroy evil generals was quickly called out by Zhang. The general opened his eyes and looked left and right. Then raise your hand and shout. In this pure world, evil spirits and lustful worshippers, don't be arrogant. When he finished, he raised his hand to the ground. Follow the movements of the general. 3 people are surrounding the highway, immediately lifted up, hovering in the air. Then the two-handed generals immediately clashed and shouted loudly, "Close up the gear." Then he was beaten to the flesh of a sudden death. After a while, 3 people turned into a pool of blood. All that's left is the clothes that fell on the ground. I'm just breathing right now, sitting on the ground. At this moment, the general next to him raised his eyes again, looking up at the sky. If you see it, turn your head. Their direction. Looking back, that's where the human face is. 10 When they saw that they were looking, they spoke. He discovered us, and the devil nodded. Well, this guy's a little special. Do I need to change my opponent? 10 people shake their heads. He doesn't need to change, he's the only one. The bottom shows that it is currently plugged in. Run into the forest and hide. The devil heard the answer of 10 good. Then nod your head. Very confident. Ask if you have seen the enemy. 10 goodness immediately replied, not really see through it all. But you can look out. His ability to summon a special god gear. It takes a lot of energy and gas. With his current gas, the most, he can only summon 2 more generals. If he's running away, they want to eliminate the pursuer behind them. Then, every subsequent summons, they all have to be used at the edge. It's for this reason. It makes him think about how to solve the problem in a conventional way, for the first time in a battle. Instead of directly summon the gods to clear the yard. Imagine that he is your enemy. We just need to prepare 3 good assassins. Or attack. So he doesn't have time to use his killer weapon. When the devil hears it, he applauds. This idea is absolutely correct, but now I've changed my mind. I'm only going to give you B-class gas. Median and devil use is also limited. If so, how do you plan to deal with the enemy? 10 When you hear that, put your face down in anger and swear. The bearded man doesn't look like. He said without keeping his word. The other side is showing now. Still running like flying in the forest. I was really careless. I can't believe the old man's blood is poisonous. If we were more careful then. Then now, we didn't fall into this mess either. Of our remaining gas reserves, the most, it can only be used to summon 2 more gods. If it's used to break the intestinal curse through the baby's stomach, then we only have 1 chance. Let us call out the general to resolve the situation. But if we do that, can we really stand it? Until the one sent by the master comes to the rescue, there are no longer 2 fighters in the air. They didn't do it just now. Maybe I'm afraid I'll summon the evil generals. But it's not hard to find the holes in the 8. They'll realize this when I reanalyze the battle. While Zhang Ruo was thoughtfully fleeing, far in front of him, there was a great demon carrying a flag. I saw that suddenly a demon appeared. It's extremely confusing here. He quickly stopped. Bet the opponent observer. This is SAO's new pursuer. No, it's not human. It's an evil demon. But even in Hanam Dao, where there's a lot of trouble with the devil, I rarely get a chance to see the devil. People living in the middle of the day, the devil is standing in front of him. His face set out. This road is not clear. Fast forward to left and right. Look around. In my head, my mind is spinning. The high probability is it was released by a demon lord. This person is not affiliated with the SAO demon. Is the pair of teachers who just did SAO or? While he was contemplating, then the demon bent its head towards him. Can you hear me? This road is blocked. When I heard the sound, I woke up. I saw the devil again. And yet, it approaches me so narrowly. Instinctively, he raised his fist. I want to punch him. But when the fists come in front of the demon, then he suddenly stopped. The devil sat there looking at him. I saw him go and then suddenly stopped him. I asked why you didn't. He continued to attack. Exposing, staring at the enemy, biting aesthetic teeth. This distance is so close. Fortunately, I was able to control my desire to attack at the last minute. Look at his reaction. This demon is most likely the only killer. If certain conditions are met. I guess if he gets in his way, he hits him. It will then be attacked and killed. If we didn't stop just now, afraid that the preconditions that the devil that's blocking this way needs, it has now been met. When you meet demons like that, the most effective strategy, it's avoiding contact with them and prevent them from achieving their prerequisite. To activate the kill state, think for a moment. The road turned around and quickly left. Stay here and block the air, you stupid devil. Wait for the enemy to leave. General kneeling and 10 virtues in a state of hiding. It's not too far away. The devil looked at the devil holding the flag and said, that 5-year-old is smart. He saw through the demon's killing conditions. Stop the other 2 demons you choose. They have no fighting ability. They're just trying to hide your body and create an illusion. You really don't want to exchange 2 demons. 10 listened to him. From the beginning to the end, he was silent. On the other side of the forest, the speed of escape is now high. Again raised several times. He just ran, and he took out a jewel ring. This is what the demons in the ghetto made of. Its effect is, help the user's ability to observe. Be enhanced. The side effects are, each time use, it's going to take a month of life for the teacher. I just put on a jewel ring. The eyes immediately have a bright light. Then the range is around 100 miles. It all fell into his eyes. Good, the devil can't catch up. Let's see that our countervailing strategy is correct. But not for long. Then he suddenly found out. 4 or 8 directions around him. Now the devil is constantly approaching. Stunned expression of fear immediately stopped. He looked at the demons hiding in the forest. All the sweat aesthetic. There's no way this is all evil. Why are there so many demons? In the forest, the demons go out. My mouth doesn't stop screaming. Ask him why he wants to escape. At SAO, open your eyes and take a breath. Adjustment of mood. After a while, he breathed out. I see. They want to use these demons to force me to call out the general. Then I will please you. The air on him was once again strong. Very quickly, the evil general was called out by him again. Ra. Like last time it showed up. He immediately looked left and right to see the situation. Then point your hand forward and say, how a bright universe. They allow the monsters. You do evil. When you're done, clap your hands together and shout. To kill the princess according to the screams of the evil general. The demons are surrounding. The road was immediately smashed. The general then disappeared. The air in the body is also exhausted, standing in place without stopping to breathe. Right now, 10 people came from behind and approached him. The police did not recognize the appearance of the enemy. Still standing, a 10-foot deep breath approached close behind him. The knife in your hand is about to stab your opponent in the neck. At this moment, Zhang turned his head and smiled again. I knew you would attack from behind. He just said that he had the right to punch 10 good guys. Son, die for me. In fact, right now. Since the revelation, discover the principle of the devil blocking the road, Kier. Moment, he realized that there was human intervention. Then he realized the enemy's plan. pursuers hiding in the darkness of Kier. You will be able to act in 4 ways. The first situation, the pursuers lacked the means to sneak, to kill him with a single blow. They were not sure about the end of the battle. Before Zhang revealed, summoned the general. That's why. Why did they send the devil to block the road? To lure him. Want to trick him. Activate the demon's killing state, blocking the way. From there, let the devil and Zhang Lu fight. You live and I die. The second situation is the same as above. But the strategy is to use a bulletproof beer to drain Zhang's gas. And the number of times he summoned his god. The third situation is that Kier's pursuers are late. And there's no seeing the whole process of Zhang's struggle with precious reason and others, but seeing that he was still alive. So that means how dangerous he is. Higher than the precious and others. So let these demons explore his power. The final situation is, the enemy doesn't think that much. They let these demons out. He simply wanted to stop the killing of Zhang Ruo. The show is also hopeful. The opponent's plan falls into situation ba or 4. Reveal the thought analysis finished. Then start narrowing the scope and move again. Next, he's starting to show his own weakness. And get the enemy to make faster decisions. What happens next? Confirmed Zhang's previous statement was correct. The enemy is hiding in the dark. I'm trying to use a bullet point. Use these demons to consume gas. And the number of times he used his god. The result is the second situation. Watch out who unleashed these demons. Those are the 2 monks. Then I'll do what you want. Let's continue this play. However, you must pay with your own lives. 1 punch flying 10 good. I have a little breath right now. But not for long. Body 10 good fly away. Suddenly turned into a green bear. This is the devil's cup. He likes to prank and imitate other people's faces. Gypsies also rumored that some demons glass. They can even make people kill each other. By creating the illusion. Watching the teddy bear roll on the ground screaming. There is fear. This is also a demon. Very quickly, he discovered that there was movement in the back. Turn around and look back. I see 10 good ones right now, is from a state of hiding. You just rushed to the highway. It has just been the wisest. Qigong strengthens the body. Speed of 10 extremely fast finishers. I didn't have time to react at all. Just came back when it was 10 good, using the Gumo Gumono technique repeatedly on the body. In fact, this pursuit is from beginning to end. It is always in the hands of 10 good people. From the beginning he used demons to block the road to trap his opponents. Let the enemy think. Someone is chasing me. But don't understand, for some reason. He didn't choose to attack directly. It's based on the demon's killing mechanism. To lure himself into a fight. You live and I die with the devil in the way. 10 good and evil spirits, then hiding on one side watching. Wait for the enemy to leave. If I'm based on the situation, I've got 5 to 6 possibilities. Based on the opponent's previous reaction, I might be able to identify the thought and his next move. Then, the devil next door was a bit surprised to hear that. Is it 1 or 20? Next here, I'll use the goblet of demons to create an illusion about a group of demons surrounding him to guide his judgment on us. In the second situation, he agreed to cooperate with him. Let's finish this play together. It ended with an attack on the grave. That my master taught me. Revealed after being 10 good show. A fight is on the ground. Look at the enemy in horror. So all of this was arranged by you. You deliberately cooperated with me to appear weak, to deceive me. The 10-year-old stood still and watched him smile. That is right, I still have some doubts. When you designed this trap, you're not worried that I will summon the general twice in a row and use the second general summon aimed at the star. 10 good people look at the corners of the mouth, laughing, extremely confident. You won't do that. The way you run away and deal with the court's pursuit. Tell me from your actions. You're not the kind of person. Reveal your trump card. Until the very last moment. As long as the person with me doesn't show up, you will definitely save a trump card to deal with him. When I heard it, I sighed. That is how I was seen by you. So the person you're traveling with isn't here, is he? Then he waved his hand. Let's get 10 closer. Do you want to know why I ran away from the Kizu kingdom? This information, it's really important. It's for the devils. I can give you this information as long as you give me a way to live. 10 Heaven's eyes opened and stared at him. Let's talk at this distance. I don't want you to take the opportunity to attack me. As I listened intently to the bad news, you still have enough gas and strength to deliver another fatal blow. That's right. I have seen 10 so careful. His face immediately dropped. Then he sighed again. I've really lost to you. But just as he was done, he suddenly jumped up. Fight towards the 10 good. But you're a little careless, kid. Your teacher didn't teach you this. In a battle between martial artists, as long as the flame of life on one side is not extinguished, at that time, the winning and losing were still undecided. You shouldn't talk too much to your opponent to reveal our own loopholes. Just because you think you've won. But Trong has just rushed in front of 10 good people. The devil is in a state of hiding. He showed up without hesitation. A right to smash directly into the back of Zhang Ru's to reveal his horror and raise his head. This is impossible. And then he passed out on the spot. 10 benefactors. Now 2 other demons appear. This chair is the front seat. It was created by demons and evil spirits. Died in a strange way. Anyone who steps on it or rocks it, they will all die suddenly. And the little devil is like a pea sitting on a chair. Is the hidden devil. He's a prankster and very good at hiding. Rumor has it that when a hidden demon, we are serious about hiding people and things. It can even hide them out of the eyes of the best fighters. 10 good to see the Chinese kneeling suddenly. Make my plans take my mind. There is no land for construction. Is extremely angry, screaming. I didn't tell you. Don't interfere in the fight between me and him. On your knees, he replied. I'm very interested in what he just said. This one still has some effect. So we can't just let you kill him. Then the devil used magic. It began to unfold. 10 goodness and abundance in the distance look. After a while, the Lord asked, feeling the cultivation path of the devil Taoist, how 10 good glances it laughs. It's also quite interesting, but I still like the cleverest. Master's Qigong is more. If you see that form of 10 good things. No more noise, while the 2 of them are thinking. In the distance, a cry of sorrow echoed. They looked back. Then I saw that the devil had put his head down. Then quickly go back to where they were waiting. He comes closer, the capital asked. Why did you kill him? He calmly replied. He is an agent of the devil. In Henan Tao, this person cannot be retained. Once the great tuns through the rope, his fate was found. When we get there, it will be very troublesome to remember. On this trip, You must have felt the power. In my demon-bending method. Then go 10 good depressed reply. It's only considered to be temporary. If you hear that, you can't help laughing. The devil saw the appearance of the two of them. Ra didn't say anything. The 10-year-old left not long ago. The police officer ran to the scene. My dear city, guard of the king, watch the body unfold in front of you. Aesthetically, Zhang's body was found. According to the time of death. And traces of the battle on the scene. Someone else must have killed him. This person will be here the next day at the king of Guizhou. King, after hearing the report, is doubtful or uttered. The mystic who killed the revelation has cut the cord of his destiny, Sao. The guy sitting across the street immediately said yes. The king asked again. Unable to track Sao. The city replied yes. Move the scene to the forest where the highway was killed. There are shadows here right now. There's a lot of eyes hanging around. This person is a traitor, practicing Shinto demons in the meditation wilderness. The great spiritual practice is the 100 views of heaven and earth. After observing the touch for a moment, he spoke. The string of fate between Trong Lu and the demon ward. It's the break. In this place, young man, this fire is anise. Practice the devil, Shinto god of the land. Harmony, god ancient. He's a character from the wild sea of the west. I can hear the words. He was angry and gripped his hand. What a loss to the owner. Even the 8 great generals. Give it to him too. This scrap result. Even Hainan Tao can't run out. This man in uniform is a god. Practicing the devil's way in the meditation wilderness. Excellent cultivation is polymath. Pink armor. 50 is a character from the Tongue Tails Brigade. When he saw the corn so excited, he spoke up. People argue less. Lord Thu too, on one side, looked at the area, asked. Can be connected to the killer's fate. Exposed. He can't shake his head. The enemy is also the master of this religion. Cut the fate line very definitely. At the same time in the east. 10 virtues sitting in meditation. And the hell lies on one side, dozing off. Standing at the front of the room and watching. He knelt and stared at 10 good people. This little boy, though he won't admit it out of his mouth. But the progress of opening the stomach of Yang Ming. It's not down at all. It seems that he still very much recognizes my demonic possession. The city next door is a little confusing. Interested in the look of such a comedian. General Devil, you're really getting worse and worse. The devil's sharp eyes glanced at the enemy. It's the same. You're not so bad. You have to eat Shan rice with black dog blood. The two looked at each other later. There's a spark. After a while, I turned to the cold. A moment later, the new capital asked again. That's right, in the mouth of that evil insider. What did you ask? The devil replied, what else could it be? It's just a big ton taking advantage of the vague boundary of life and the current Ha Nam Tao to connect the yin and yang kingdoms. To secretly build a new reign of hell. The founder, the king of Kier's liver, is really big. Thousands of let them succeed in doing this. And he won't need you either. A 7 defeated domestic dog Tang rescued again. If you hear that, you'll not speak. Move the scene to the opening palace. You're with a bunch of people out here. He looked at the people below him and asked. Nin Kan, you're going to quietly escort Long to the Ganmen Gate, Sao. Nin Trung immediately clasped his hands, that's right. Even though the Grand Duke's calendar. They all face challenges from the kids. But now, under the circumstances of his serious disappearance, besieged in Liao City, the challenge for Chu Tuk may have escalated to assassination. For stability, it must be. You should still let the gods secretly beat her up. Go to the gate. When I finished listening, I fell into deep meditation. Maybe it's not just for that reason. Until this moment, he hasn't been honest with me about it. Li Lu and Queen Dongwei escaped from prison. Please come out this time. I'm sure you want to get them back. Before I found out. Pretend like nothing ever happened. I thought for a moment and looked up at the people. That's right, Nin Kan said yes. After hearing that for a long time, I immediately closed my hands. Thank you for seeing them leave. Hi, you speak up. Stay still, I have something to ask you. If you hear that, stop a moment later. Wait for the two of you to leave completely. He looked at me carefully. Someone asked the eunuch to speak to me. He said you arrested the second governor of Hanam Tao, Viet Trach and Thien Lao. Is this the truth? Quick save and clasp Lander. There really is this. Keep your face down. Give me a good reason. Viet Trach and his 5 disciples in Hanam Tao. No less than a long sword in 6 states. What mistake did he make that you broke the rules? He is the same as the rebels in the south. Calm down. It's not that God broke the rules. It's the head of the village in Jiju. Now there is no house against the people, 01. Who is alive? Not only that, the captain is also a thief. 5 on the battlefield of Yanzhou, leading to the 4 counter statues falling into the enemy's hands. Offenses compensation, stripped him of his martial arts status. Detained in Tianlao pioneer interrogation. It is also very revealing. When you hear that, you are quiet. I don't know what to say. After a while, he personally went to heaven to pioneer Lao. Viet Trach sitting in prison. It was amazing to see the emperor coming. Go to his prison. Ask the prisoner, Viet Trach, tell me the details of everything that you have experienced in the city of Yanzhou. Let me run Viet Trach without hiding. Tell me everything that happened back then. When you hear it, you understand. Then Ra is like that, Sao. You have too strong an enemy. After 7 defeats, he was captured by the enemy. You realize you can't save or kill the enemy. So he made the decision to retreat with the national flag. And the intelligence of Sao drama, Viet Trach nodded his head. It's sort of like that. But I'm really a deserter. I remember the conversation we had earlier. If you don't really have a chance of winning, then protect yourself. Bring the intelligence and flag to retreat. It's not a mistake. Look at it from this angle. Then the Vietnamese Trach did not do anything wrong. Save flight. In that situation, he's not wrong. But if the leader of these 5 disciplines, he's been a fugitive twice. He repeated the mistake many times. Should I give him a 3rd chance? Not on Wednesday. If you give him a chance, then Viet Trach will become an example for all martial artists in the world. Long period soul. When martial artists hold the desire to live sorry for life, let the devil wreak havoc everywhere. If you allow him, then it's very likely that this will happen again. I remember the words of that time. It's not worth pondering. After a while, he just pulled out a card from his chest. He held up the order. Guide Viet Trach inside the prison. I promise I will be in a similar situation next time. You will fight to the end. If you agree, I will forgive you. After that, 5 is still 5. Viet Trach is still a martial artist who controls Kai Shou. When Viet Trach saw that, he was moved to tears. I immediately hit my head and I wanted to meet. But I know myself, I am not worthy of this pardon. You look at the enemy. After a moment, he placed his order on the ground. My promise is still valid.